I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get to the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're getting educated about. The show will ask when you can click on that merchandise tab. Going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that's socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, or so much more. Something like 88 different items with our logo on it. After all, it's easier to say we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Please check us out on social media by finding us on X and Threads, on Facebook and Instagram, also on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube, and we sure would appreciate some more subscribers over there. We sure do appreciate all of the subscribers we've picked up recently, but we're always looking for more Renegades to jump in the trenches over on our YouTube channel, so make sure you give us a subscription over there on YouTube. You can also find the audio podcast on numerous podcast platforms. Thanks to the Full Press NHL Network, the Full Press Predators podcast has gone from local to global in the year 2023, and the momentum has continued here in the beginnings of 2024, so we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for checking us out, whether that's been on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, or whatever your preferred podcast platform is. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Stick taps, love, and respect for that. Venmo is how you can support the show financially. Scan the QR code that's currently on your screen, or just search Renegades of Puck in Venmo today, and you'll find the show. No problem right there. Every dollar goes a long way to helping this independent operation, so please, if you can spare a dollar, send it along our way. We are making upgrades behind the scenes, as always, as we've been doing for the last 2+ years, but thanks to generous renegades just like you listening and watching right now, we've been able to accomplish those upgrades, and we are continuing on with the mission of making the Bunker the best recording studio year-round that we possibly can make. So again, that's Venmo. Scan the QR code or just search Renegades of Puck today. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage for the first time in a little over a week. Good to be back in the Bunker with you. Time for operation number 866. That's right, time for show number 866. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division after 51 games skated. They have a record of 26, 23, and 2, 54 points on the season, 13, 13, and 0 on home ice, which is where their next game will take place against division rival Arizona. The Preds have scored 153 goals on the season. They've given up 160. That's a goal differential of -7. Now, we'll talk about the Arizona Coyotes individually, but let's talk about the Central Division and the wild card standings, where they are after the All-Star break, just to get you caught up and reminded. The Dallas Stars currently sit in first place in the Central Division, the same number of games skated as the Nashville Predators, 51. Dallas has a record of 31, 14, and 6, 68 points, has them in first place by way of tiebreakers in games played. The Colorado Avalanche have skated in 52 games, are in second place with a record of 32, 16, and 4, also have 68 points, the same number as Dallas. Winnipeg finds themselves 3 points behind both Dallas and Colorado with 65 points, and those are the 3 automatic qualifying playoff spots for the Central Division at this time. Then the St. Louis Blues are the first team on the outside looking in with 54 points in 4th place. The Preds also with 54 points are in 5th place. That is due to tiebreakers and games played. The Preds have skated in 2 more games than the St. Louis Blues. Then you'll find the Arizona Coyotes, the Preds' next opponent, in 6th place in the Central Division after 49 games skated with a record of 23, 23, and 3. They have 49 points on the season. The Minnesota Wild are in 7th place with 49 points, and the Chicago Blackhawks are in 8th and last place in the Central Division with 30 points on the season. Just quickly, the wild card update. Wildcard 1 spot currently held by the LA Kings with 56 points, and the second wildcard spot held by the St. Louis Blues with 54 points. That means the Nashville Predators are the first team on the outside looking in the wildcard race for the Western Conference with 54 points, same as St. Louis, but again, tiebreakers in games played. Calgary, 1 point behind Nashville and St. Louis at 53, and the Seattle Kraken at 52 points, just 2 points back. So definitely going to be a battle now down the final stretch of the season. Let's talk about the Arizona Coyotes a little bit now that we're updated on all of the different different playoff races and standings. The Arizona Coyotes, I mentioned, are in 6th place in the Central Division. 49 points is 5 points behind the Nashville Predators. On the road, the Arizona Coyotes have a record of 8-13-3. They've scored 145 goals. They've given up 150. They have a goal differential of -5. Now, for the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this game against the Arizona Coyotes, Tuesday, they'll welcome in the New Jersey Devils. Thursday, they'll welcome in the Dallas Stars. Incredibly important Central Division game against the Dallas Stars. But at this point in the season, all points are going to be of critical importance. On the 17th, back on the road into St. Louis for the first time in a while since before the All-Star break. The Preds will be on the road in St. Louis, then on the 20th in Vegas, and the 24th in San Jose. Now, this is the third of 4 regular season meetings between the Central Division rival Nashville Predators and Arizona Coyotes. Let's go back and talk about the season series up to this point. It was on November the 11th, 11-11, when the Nashville Predators fell 7-5. A lot of crooked numbers in that line right there. 11-11, 7-5. Preds lost 7-5 on home ice. UC Saros took the loss, giving up 6 goals, going 18 out of 24. It was Forsberg with 2 goals and assists for 3 points for the Preds. The lone bright spot, O'Reilly, Sherwood, Fabro with goals in the game. On the 20th of January is when the two teams would meet for the second time. It would be the first time in Arizona. Coyotes would come away with a 3-2 victory in that game. UC Saros again takes the loss. 21 out of 24. Tommy Novak and Romy Josi pick up the goals in that game. Connor Ingram picked up the win for the Coyotes, 30 out of 32. And Keller was dominant in that game, scoring 2 goals. They'll meet one more time. It'll be the 4th meeting of the season. It'll be on March the 28th, right near the end of the regular season. Nashville and Arizona, and you can bet those are going to be some critically important points. Speaking of points, the Preds 0-2 record-wise against this Arizona team this year. 0 out of 4 potential points picked up and outscored 10-7. This is a very, very important game coming out of the break for the Nashville Predators. And coming out of the break, the Arizona Coyotes have already gotten 1 game in, but it didn't go their way. So let's recap the Arizona Coyotes. You've already got their record, their standings, and all of that. So let's talk about their most recent stretch of 5. On the January the 22nd, not the January 22nd, but just January 22nd, 5-2 win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. That was their last victory. Now they've dropped the next 4. On the 24th of January, a 6-2 loss at Florida. On the 25th, a 6-3 loss at Tampa Bay. On the 27th, a 3-1 loss at Carolina, and then they got their break, and coming back post-All-Star break, the 8th of February was their most recent game. It was a 3-2 loss versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Connor Ingram got the start and was out of the game in 6 minutes after giving up 3 goals to Vegas. Vejmelka came in and went 28 out of 28 in relief in that game. Now, the updated NHL rankings and stats and numbers for both of these teams in these matchups. The Nashville Predators goals for 2.96 is 18th overall in the National Hockey League, while the Arizona Coyotes are scoring 2.92 goals a game. That's 24th overall in the NHL. In the goals against category, the Preds are at 3.14. That's 19th best in the NHL. The Arizona Coyotes are 3.06. That's 15th in the NHL. In the shots for category, 30.9 is 15th for Nashville. Shots for 26.6 for Arizona is 30th. 2 spots from last in the NHL. In the shots against category, the Preds are giving up 30 per game. That's 14th in the NHL, while Arizona's giving up 31.8 against per game. That's 24th in the NHL. When it comes to special teams, the Predators converting at only 18.6% on the power play. That's 20th in the league at this point in time. 33 out of 177 opportunities. The Arizona Coyotes converting at 22.2%. That's 14th best in the league. 33 out of 149 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, Arizona Coyotes also leading in this particular metric. 79% kill rate is 19th best in the league. They've given up 33 power play goals against, while the Nashville Predators are killing off 76.5%. That's 27th in the National Hockey League. They've given up 38 power play goals against. That is a very, very big number. When it comes to the individual statistics and individual skaters on both of these squads, let's start with the home team, Nashville Predators. Get you caught up to date and remember where we're at there. Forsberg, 24 goals and 27 assists for 51 points. Went into the All-Star break, picking up a couple of goals, and had a really good All-Star break as well. Hopefully coming back rested, motivated, and ready to go. Josi's at 10 goals and 35 assists for 45 points. That's second on the Nashville Predators. O'Reilly's at 17 and 25 for 42. Nyquist, 12 goals, 26 assists for 38 points. And Colton Sissons is at 13 goals and 12 assists for 25 points. UC Saros has a record of 19, 19, and 2. 903 save percentage, 2.94 goals against average. Anticipated to get the start start coming out of the break against the Arizona Coyotes, even though he is 0-2 against the Yotes so far this season. Over on the Arizona Coyotes side of things, individual statistics, Keller has absolutely had a dominant career against this Nashville Predators team, and this season he has continued that. The most recent game in Arizona, picking up 2 goals and had a number of attempts at the hat trick. On the year, 21 goals leads the Arizona Coyotes, 25 assists added. That equals 46 points. 46 is tops on the Coyotes. Michelli is second on the team in scoring, 7 goals and 26 assists for 33 points. Schmaltz at 13 and 17 for 30. Kraus, 19 goals, 10 assists for 29 points. Durzi's at 8 goals and 20 assists for 28 points. And I put Connor Ingram down since Vejmelka came in the previous game and had so much time in relief, going 28 out of 28. Ingram getting pulled after just 6 minutes. I penned in Ingram anticipating he's going to get the start at Bridgestone Arena because he has played very good against the Nashville Predators so far this season. Ingram is 17, 12, and 1 on the year, a 9.14 save percentage, 2.69 goals against average. And coming out of the All-Star break, you never know. Sometimes that first game can be rough, so Connor Ingram may be very much dialed back in by the second game for the Nashville Predators. You hope UC Saros is dialed in and ready to go. You hope that the Nashville Predators are mentally focused and ready to come out of the break. Physically, they look worn down and look tired going into the break. Now, it is that time of year, just over 30 games to go in the regular season. It will be the trade deadline race and then nothing but playoff talk and playoff races from that point forward. So for the Nashville Predators, this is a hugely important game. They are 5 points ahead of the Coyotes in the standings, but they have dropped 2 games and 4 points already to Arizona this season. They cannot afford to lose the last 2 games of the regular season matchup. Believe me, these are very important points, even though there's still over 30 games to go. The Preds need these points against the Arizona Coyotes, especially at home. You don't want to go 0-2 against the team below you in your division in the standings. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators return to the ice at Bridgestone Arena against the Arizona Coyotes. We've got to go all the way back to before the All-Star break for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. It's coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to January 31st of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were at home facing off against the LA Kings. Head coach Andrew Burnett deployed his lines in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Trennan, Sisson, Gurianov, Novak, Glass, and Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Tomasino. Your defensive pairings: Alex Carrier out of this game with an injury, Yossi and Fabro, McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Barry. Into the game, getting the start is UC Saros, and it's Riddick coming up with the save of the game to start with Fabro, plus the follow-up by Trennan. Those are the first and second shots on goal of the game. At the 2:20 mark of the first period, UC Saros come up with his first save of the game on Grunch. At the 2:59 mark of the first period, UC Saros come up with the save on Deneau. At 4:08 of the first period, it's Kempe hitting the crossbar from the left circle off the rush. At the 5:22 spot of the first period, it's Riddick. Big save, Dave coming with a save with the captain, Roman Yossi at 6:03. Riddick comes up with another save on Glass at 8:41. Riddick comes up with a save on Dante Fabro. And then at 8:50, just 9 seconds after that save on Fabro, it is Grunstrom breaking through for the first goal of the game, giving the LA Kings a 1-0 lead, his 8th goal of the season. He walked in and sniped with the 2-on-1 after Luke Evangelista's really rough turnover in the neutral zone. It was downright ugly. Luke Evangelista turns the puck over. That allows Grunstrom to walk in and pick his spot, and he definitely picked a great spot. Bar down, LA 1-0. 10-10 of the first period. Now Saros comes with a save on Moore at the 11:03 mark of the first period. You see Saros comes with a save on LaFerriere, and a follow-up by Anderson Dolan, and the tuck under the arm by UC Saros. He prevents the puck from going in just by a few threads of the jersey. 12:21 of the first period. Riddick coming with a save on Tomasino, plus his follow-up at the 13:37 mark of the first period. UC Saros come up with a save on Roy's long shot at 14:51. Riddick comes up with a save on Luke Shen. 15:38 of the first period. UC Saros coming up with a save on Lewis at the 16:26 mark of the first period. It's Riddick coming up with a save on Gurianov at the 18:59 mark of the first period. It's Roy off to the box. 2 minutes for slashing, giving us our first special teams action of the game. The Nashville Predators onto the power play, and they seem to completely lose clock awareness as time just fizzles away and dissolves like sands through the hourglass as Philip Forsberg dances and dazzles and does everything but put the puck onto the net. So the Nashville Predators seem to just lose awareness here at the end of the period. We hit the end of the first period. It is the Preds out shooting the LA Kings 14-11, but LA holds the 1-goal lead. Carryover of the power play into the second period will be 59 seconds for the Nashville Predators. So we go on to the clean sheet. We find Big Save Dave coming up with a save on Philip Forsberg, and that would be it for the Nashville Predators. They'd be unable to generate more than one shot on goal to start the second period. All that planning during intermission led to one shot. 101 of the second period. Juicy Stars coming with a save on Dano at the 140 mark of the second period. It's Riddick coming with a save on Glass at the 325 mark of the second period. It's Dante Fabro off the box. 2 minutes for holding. Riddick is going to come with a save on Colton Sisson's breakaway. Plus the secondary rebound putback was easily Riddick's best save of the game up to this point, and maybe in its entirety. A huge save on the breakaway, but an even bigger save on the follow-up. Sissons unable to convert on the shorthanded breakaway situation just after the power play expires, the 5:36 mark. So 11 seconds after the power play expires, it's Turcotte getting his first goal of his career, so first goal of the season. It was a short side finish after the Kings just walked into the Nashville Predators defensive zone. The Preds were in the middle of a change and perhaps got confused, lost their assignments, whatever it was. They did not lay a finger on Turcotte or the other LA Kings coming into the zone. It was truly some of the softest defense you're going to find, and the Nashville Predators found themselves down 2-0. Congratulations to Turcotte. I watched his dad score his first goal as a New York Ranger, and now I watch him score his first goal here as an LA King. What a bizarre life. Short side finish there for Turcotte. His first goal of his career gives LA a 2-0 lead in this game at the 6:10 mark of the second period. So immediately after, we see Barry putting the puck in the net. It was a rebound put back through the 5-hole, and we see the play be challenged for goaltender interference. After a somewhat lengthy delay, the play would be overturned. No goal, so rewind the clock, take the goal off the board, make the score be 2-0 again in favor of LA. But it was a great job by Barry getting through that rebound and putting it back through the 5-hole before it was overturned on review for goaltender interference. Incidental interference, so no penalty. 9:51 now of the second period. Riddick coming up with a save on Gurianov. 10:48 mark of the second. It's Saros coming up with a save on Kevin Fiala. 12:21 of the second. It's Saros coming with a save on Anderson Dolan at the 13:13 mark of the second period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Lewis at 14:42 of the second. It's Riddick coming with a save on Dante Fabro at the 15:02 mark of the second period. It's Riddick coming with a save on Luzon. Teams continue to trade chances. Nashville Predators get the next chance at 16:22 when Forsberg has the jam attempt at the post. It is stopped right there by Big Save Dave Riddick, and this was a positional save because he never saw it coming. There was no way to anticipate that this play was coming from Forsberg, who suddenly got the benefit of a good bounce and stepped out from the post trying to jam the puck in. Riddick coming up with another incredible save here in the second period. 17:47 out of the second period. Stars coming with a save on Kevin Fiala at 18:54 of the second. It's Riddick coming with a save on the Captain Romaniosi. We hit the end of the second period. Nashville Predators down by 2 goals out, shooting LA 24-21. We go to the backside of the sheet to start the beginning of the third period on a clean sheet at Bridgestone Arena. We are 2:15 into the third period. Slow start for both teams. Riddick coming with a save on Luzon for the first shot on goal of the third period. The 2:51 mark. Action starts to pick up quickly, though, as Dowdy's off the box. 2 minutes for interference. Dave Riddick is about to clock in and go to work right here. First save is on Barry. Then the next save is on the Captain Romaniosi. Tommy Novak gets a good look in close before Nyquist hits the post. There was one other opportunity for the Nashville Predators, so 5 opportunities, and all 4 had to be turned aside by Dave Riddick in this situation, and he was up to the task, standing tall and keeping the LA Kings in this game early in the third period. 5:15, so just after the Nashville Predators power play, the continued and sustained pressure by the Nashville Predators leads to Philip Forsberg getting his 24th goal of the season. It was jam at the other post, this time stoned by Riddick earlier in the second, this time at the other side of of the net. He gets to the puck first and puts it bar down. No doubt with this one. Great job finishing off on the close-in play as only a high-skilled player can do. His 24th goal of the season comes at the end of an incredibly long shift of pressure by the Nashville Predators. The hard work earned this goal. LA still has a one-goal lead here in the third period, up 2-1, but the Preds are finally on the board, rewarded for their hard work. 6:14 of the third period. It's Dubois off the box, 2 minutes for hooking. Preds earning another power play with sustained pressure. We find O'Reilly then picking up a penalty, 2 minutes for a high stick, and that's going to create a 4-on-4 for a minute 43 seconds, so only 17 seconds of power play before that O'Reilly penalty. Then Fiala is off to the box, 2 minutes for holding. That creates a 4-on-3 for 29 seconds. Forsberg would hit the iron during the 4-on-3 situation. Then the Nashville Predators would find themselves on a power play, 5-on-4 traditional style, for a minute and 17 seconds. Riddick would come up with a save on the captain, Romeo, and then Tommy Novak would hit yet another post here in this game at the 13:20 mark of the third period. When we finally return to some 5-on-5 hockey, it's Lewis coming with his 6th goal of the season to give the LA Kings a 3-1 lead in this game. It's Byfield with the feed from behind the net while holding off Shen and making a physically imposing play against the Nashville Predators. The LA Kings have been largely shut down here in the third period. Lewis, though, is the beneficiary of Byfield's hard work and seemingly super strength, holding Luke Shen off the puck and then with one hand making a perfect pass to the slot area. Stick taps for that play to Byfield. The LA Kings now lead 3-1 at the 14:53 mark of the third period. The captain, Romeo, hits the post one more time, ringing iron for the Preds at 16:35 of the third period. It's Tomasino, his 7th goal. Novak to Yossi to Tomasino, tic-tac-toe to the back of the net after Anze Kopitar's turnover in the defensive zone. The LA Kings now lead 3-2 in this game, 17:55 of the third period. It's Riddick coming with a save on Tommy Novak at 18:51 of the third period. It's Kevin Fiala with his 13th goal of the season into the empty net, giving the LA Kings a 4-2 lead, and that would be your final. Shots on goal, Nashville Predators 40, LA 24, and for the Nashville Predators, if they had played this entire game the way they had played the third period, they would have had no problems winning this game, but they did not put that level of effort up. Third period, big save. Dave does give up 2 goals, but he faced an onslaught and picks up the victory. UC Saros takes another loss, and the Nashville Predators find themselves out of a playoff spot for the first time in quite some time, and that's how they'll go into the All-Star break. A tough loss on home ice for the Nashville Predators. Got themselves behind in just an insurmountable a lead to come back from. The Preds drop this one to the LA Kings on home ice, 4-2, and head into the All-Star break.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Let's talk about some analysis now. UC Saros gets the start in this game, pivotal game in the wild card race at this moment in time for the playoff race. He goes 20 out of 23, takes a loss, gives up 3 goals against, and the team was soft in coverage. The LA Kings able to just walk into the zone with the puck on a number of occasions, also able to control the Nashville Predators net front, control behind the net, frankly control all of the most dangerous areas on the ice. The Preds defense being soft did not help UC Saros because overall UC Saros was not bad making saves when he had the support in this one. This was a really, really tough loss for UC Saros, going 20 out of 23 and giving up 3 goals out of the 4 in this game. Of course, the 4th goes into the empty net. Philip Forsberg picks up a goal. Great to see him back on the score sheet again. His 24th team leading. He's maintaining being ahead of his point per game pace for the season. That's something that's been very rare in Nashville Predators history at this point in the season through 51 games to have someone at a point per game pace. But Philip Forsberg is maintaining that at this moment in time. But he has certainly slipped and fallen behind in the pace that he was once at. It looked like he was going to be a 40-goal scorer and possibly 85 to 90-point scorer on the season. February just around the corner, rested legs. We'll see how Philip Forsberg recovers from that. But his goal in this game came from a long, hard-working, determined shift. Then he brought the Gem 2.5+ minutes out there of working hard and trying to score. Ends up generating 6 shots on goal in this game. I don't know how many came on this lengthy shift, but Philip Forsberg was all around the net. He was buzzing and he was working hard and he was determined. And finally, I know he had to be absolutely gassed. He finds a way to put the puck in the net. It was a great finish, close in range, good hands, puts the puck bar down, beating the goaltender for LA and putting the puck into the net. So Philip Forsberg's 24th goal of the season, a good hard-working goal, not like the previous goal that he scored, which was just a tip. And hopefully this gets his confidence back up. He gets to take the break, take a little pressure off, come back, and is fully ready to engage for February because the Nashville Predators aren't going anywhere in the standings without Philip Forsberg leading the way offensively. Philip Tomasino, such a big storyline in the previous game, and of course, we're going to follow up and talk about him again in this game. He did pick up a goal in this game. Impressive. 2 games in a row now. 2 shots on goal in this game, and he did it in 15-12 total time on ice, a little more than 5 minutes more in this game than the previous game, and he was trusted late in this game because his goal came late in the third period when the Preds were down by 2. He picks up the Preds' second goal of the game. The coaching staff saying that they can trust him more suddenly than they couldn't the game before when he had a goal and assist in the first period. They said that he wasn't playing a good enough, solid enough, hard enough, crisp enough, and whatever other word salad enough game for the coaching staff, so they limited his ice time this time. 15-12 in total time on ice time is a good, solid number. Y'all picks up that goal and gets 2 shots on goal, and I thought that Philip Tomasino looked good and strong in this game. Yet again, I'm looking forward to seeing him back on the rink after the All-Star break, refreshed, recovered, and ready to go. Now, Schenn and McDonough out there as a pairing. Now, I understand Carrier is hurt right now. Luzon and Barry, that means Barry back in the lineup. Yossi and Fabro, no problem right there. But the defense is just soft right now, and it's the soft defense that lost the game. Schenn and McDonough in particular, they are solid veterans, but Ryan McDonough just losing someone in the slot area while the puck is behind the net, that's not acceptable. And Luke Schenn just being absolutely outworked, out muscles. Listen, Quentin Byfield is outstanding, and he is easily one of the next generation big-time stars of this league, but Luke Schenn has right around 1,000 games of experience. He's supposed to be a solid veteran with physical presence, and he just got outworked, outmuscled, outweighted, and then Byfield makes the one-handed pass. He really embarrassed Schenn and McDonough both as professional defensemen in the NHL. And the softy is what lost this game. Turcotte just slicing right through the zone and being able to score off of the rush. A number of times the LA Kings were able to just cut right through the Predators' offensive zone and pick and choose their time of shooting the puck. So it was a really rough night in the Preds' defensive zone. Really tough for the fans at the Bridgestone Arena to watch. Everybody was really hyped, really excited about this big-time playoff potential matchup right here. And I've got to tell you, I'm just going to move on and say they should have known better, because all you had to do was look and see that the cliche, as old as the Predators franchise itself, was about to unfold before your very eyes. Once you saw there was a backup goaltender starting at Bridgestone Arena, that should have been your first eyebrow going up. And then when you realized there was a rookie in the lineup that had never scored an NHL goal, well, that's when your second eyebrow should have gone up, because again, it is a cliche as old as this franchise. It is truly what happens to them seemingly multiple times a season. The first goal of the career for a young player, there must be more pucks with tape that say first goal date at Nashville or versus Nashville distributed around the world than any other franchise. There has to be, because players scoring their first career goal and backups getting 40 saves at Bridgestone Arena, it is truly the Nashville Predators cliche of cliches. And both of them happened at Bridgestone Arena in this game against the LA Kings. At the end of the game, I did just have to laugh about it. I wish there had been a different result. It's better for business. It's better for the Preds to be in a playoff spot going into the All-Star break than not, but I did have to laugh when Turcotte picks up his first goal and Big Save Dave comes back to Bridgestone Arena, and instead of falling under the net like he had historically and fantastically done at Bridgestone Arena for the Predators, this time he makes 40 saves to stop the Nashville Predators. So it's just another one of those times where a player gets his first career goal against the Preds and a backup gets 40 saves in a victory. So for the Nashville Predators, they dropped this one, and it's incredibly disappointing. I had hoped for much better results. It would have been better for business, would have been better for this show, and it certainly would have made going into the All-Star break a little bit more interesting with the Preds holding a wild card spot. Being on the outside looking in, that gives the Preds a lot to think about over their time off, and when they come back, they better be ready to go. I'll talk about that a little bit more before we close out the show. We've got the good cold hard numbers known as the box score. That's coming up right after our good friends Stripe Digital tell you all about their services.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast. Time for the box score. Your goal scorers. Philip Forsberg's got the first goal of the game. Tomasino has the second goal of the game. Comes very late. That's the only two goals. The Predators were able to score in this 4-2 loss to the LA Kings. On the assist side of the column, it's Tommy Novak picking up a point. Nyquist also picks up an assist. Again, Captain Romeo picks up an assist. And Ryan McDonough picks up an assist. Shots on goal. Philip Forsberg had 6. He was buzzing all over the rink, especially that long determined shift where he scored his goal in this game. 6 total shots on goal, ties with Tyson Barrie back in the lineup, getting power play opportunity and certainly putting the puck on the net with regularity. Tommy Novak also adds 5 shots on goal for the Nashville Predators. When it comes to block shots, 4 is the high, and it's by the captain, Roman Josi. Ryan McDonough also chips in with 3. Nobody else on the Nashville Predators above 1 blocked shot. When it comes to the physical component of the game, when it comes to hits, Yakov Trenin led the way with 4 hits in this game. Then we had a trio that had 3, McCarron, Cole Smith, and Luke Shen, all with 3 hits in this game. And it was Forsberg with 2, nobody else above 1. Time on ice leaders. And there's some interesting things in the time on ice that I have to point out to you. First of all, Philip Forsberg, 22-43, and then Nyquist, 20-24. That's your time on ice leaders for the forwards. But this was clearly a situation where Andrew Brunette, knowing he's going into having an almost 10-day break, was riding his horses, especially late in this game, because look at some of the other time on ice for this game. Luke Evangelista had a terrible turnover in this game, and his ice time suffered because of that. 8:38 in total time on ice. Gurionov, 9:32 in time on ice. Michael McCarron, 8:18 in total time on ice. And you can also point out that Cole Smith was down at 10:13. Highly unusual to see 4 forwards out of the 12 be down at 10 minutes and under for this game. So just something I thought I would make a notation of here as we were discussing the box score. When it comes to the defenseman, absolutely riding the captain, Roman Josi, for 29:06 in this game. This game did not go to overtime, so Roman Josi was just 54 seconds shy of playing exactly half of the game. That's some good Iron Man hockey at this age of the game. 23:37 on ice for Barrie, 20:57 for McDonough. Dante Fabro obviously not having the confidence of the coaching staff later in this game. Only 11:27 total time on ice skated. When it comes to the special teams, the power play in this game was 0 for 4. Philip Forsberg, 5:35 in total time on ice on the power play. O'Reilly, 4:24. Nyquist, 4:17. No production on the power play, and there were some kooky power plays. We had some multiple back and forth special teams exchanges, 5-on-4s, 4-on-3s, all kinds of crazy things happening out there. On the power play for the defenseman, 5:35 for Roman Josi and 4:52 for Tyson Barrie. When it comes to shorthanded, Nashville Predators, 1 for 1 on the PK in this game. Very limited time on ice. It was 53 seconds for Yakov Trenin, 50 seconds for Colton Sissons, 1:12 for Ryan McDonough, 1:10 for Luke Shen. So for the Nashville Predators, great job and the only penalty kill that they faced in this game. Face-off winning percentage also nice uptick right here, 60.4% for the Nashville Predators. That's great, but unfortunately, Nashville Predators unable to come away with the victory in this game. 14 block shots, 16 hits, 8 takeaways, and 6 giveaways for the Nashville Predators. So on top of a lot of statistical metrics, but unfortunately down on the scoreboard in the end. And again, falling to their own classic cliche of a first-time ever goal scorer and a backup getting 40 saves at Bridgestone Arena. A tough night overall for the Nashville Predators, and I think my close has a lot to do with why it was a tough night, why the Ottawa game was disjointed, why we've seen the up and down nature, the Jekyll and Hyde nature of this team the last couple of weeks. Andrew Brunette has come in here as a first-time head coach and has looked to implement a style that was not previously played here in Nashville. Now, the roster with new GM Barry Trotz looks very different this year than it has in the past. Many veterans, many longtime Predators players are no longer here. It's Forsberg, it's Yossi. Those are the players that are still here with a bunch of the youth. I didn't count UC Saros because he doesn't count as far as this discussion in the style of play. UC Saros is still a goaltender expected to stop pucks and win games. But we saw Roman Josi struggle at the early part of the season with knowing exactly what his new role is with Andrew Brunette after having a very similar role with the previous coaches that he had in his career, which was, Roman, you're the boss, you're the man, take the puck, go score, get us points. And that's not what Andrew Brunette wants to happen necessarily. He doesn't mind it, but it's not necessarily what he wants. He wants the puck being moved quickly, and he wants long passes. He wants players to be strong. And I think what this all leads to right now is that this Nashville Predators has hit a wall with the new system. I think that they are just gassed. We saw in the Predators' early season adjustment to the system, a lot of mistakes, and the Predators lost several games. They blew a bunch of leads. That was system adjustment time. Now, we have seen after that period what they can do and what they're capable of doing when UC Saros and the defense plays a capable game and the forwards move the puck the way Andrew Brunette, and they have the energy, the get up, and the jam to continue playing at that style. The Predators can skate with any team in the league. They've proven in the first half of the season, the first 51 games, that they can do that. But what the Nashville Predators are suffering from right now is hitting the wall of this new system. This All-Star break is an absolute necessity. 10 days off for this Nashville Predators team is an absolute necessity. Right now, you can tell the team looks worn out mentally, physically, maybe even spiritually a little bit. I think that there's definitely a comeback from that the final 30-plus games of the season. The Predators are tied with the second wildcard team right now in the West, and the Predators have opportunities throughout the remainder of the schedule. They have not played the Columbus Blue Jackets yet this season. They do play the Ottawa Senators again. They have more games coming against the Blackhawks, the Wild, the Coyotes. They have opportunities with teams that are below them. Anaheim, San Jose, teams below them in the standings that they can collect points against in the final 30-plus games of the season. I think the Nashville Predators are going to come back refreshed, renewed, and Andrew Brunette himself, as a coach, as a coaching staff, as a GM, this is an opportunity for them to pause and reflect on the season that has been so far and what they need to do going forward. I think the break is coming at a perfect time. I think everybody, including the people covering the team, the broadcast team, the media, Mace needs a week off. Mason needs a week off to let whatever that cold is that's been chasing him all across North America heal up. We all could use a break, I think. I think it's coming at the right time. So let's go enjoy whatever this All-Star festivities is going to be. It's mostly going to be just listening to corporate sponsorships and watching music acts you've never heard before, and maybe you'll get a glimpse of some hockey skills at some point in time. It's peripheral stuff. It's not stuff I get all that wrapped up in or all that worried about. The hockey, I look forward to it coming back, but I am also very, very excited about the opportunity to take a little bit of a break and refresh myself, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's 3 things. That's not 2 things. See, I am also very, very tired. That's going to do it for Operation Ray 165. Listen, Renegades, I sure do appreciate everything you've done for the show. January has come to its conclusion. We'll be off for just a couple of days going into February. There'll be some recap shows, some best of shows, and some other things coming up in the next couple of days, and you'll be able to check that out over the All-Star break. And we'll do a mid-season recap or an All-Star break recap, whatever the hell it is we're going to do. Operation 865 is in the books. It's time to call this one. Stick taps, love, and respect, Renegades. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.